What's up, guys? Andy here with Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz. We're back again with a set review for the greatest set of all time, RWBY. Joined with the usual suspects, Brian and Carmen.
I'm
me.
Rowetty.
Rowetty?
Yeah, I'm Rowetty.
Ruh-roh.
I'm
Nice,
Wetty.
nice pun. I like it.
Are you Wetty?
I'm
I wish to
Wetty.
death.
We're also joined by Devin Lindsay,
Yo.
and world champion Riaz.
Hello.
So two really prestigious guests this week,
We got the top and the bottom.
rounding out the whole food
Top
chain.
and bottom of the tier list here.
Anyway, let's jump right into it with a top tier card right off the bat here. We got this Taiyang Xiao Long.
Instant
What?
Instant A. Yes. Good
For
card.
sure, yeah. When this card's placed on stage from hand, reveal top card of your deck. If it's a remnant character, choose one of your characters. Can be herself, can be anyone else. Give them 2,000 power. And when she reverses her battle opponent, you choose one of your other remnant characters, rest it, and move it to the open position of your backstage. It's a clean cut and a damn good one, too.
Yeah.
This card is
This card's
nuts,
sick.
actually. So, like, clean cuts are already a plussing level 0 profile that scale, like, well throughout the game. Because if you can snipe a reverse, it gives you, like, a play. You, like, whiff climax combo or something like that. To, like, keep up your hand throughout the game or, like, save key cards. And then this one is just like, by the way, you have the Chica power condition where you get 2k and you get to peek the top card of your deck. Like, pretty sick. Like, no matter what. Directly plays into your, like, level 1 combo that, like, wants to get a reverse if you're playing the TD one as well. So it's just, like, just fucking really good all around. I think it's just a slam dunk card, actually. This is, like...
What we rate the Chica, Ricky, and card? Did we get that an S or just an A+?
I don't know. There was, like...
close to an S, yeah.
Between that and the, like, K, it was, like, A plus S, A in there. This is almost on the same tier. It's a different kind of card.
It's on the same tier as the Ricky, I think, for sure.
Yeah, it's most similar to the Ricky, yeah. I think this card's nuts. Especially, like, with the way the other RWBY cards are. I think it synergizes with a lot of different packages. And, like, this is going to be a recurring theme as we look at more colors. All the non-red colors are kind of ass overall. They have, like, a couple key good cards. But, like, fitting them in a deck to, like, fix for color, you, like, always barely get there for the minimum amount of color to play at that level.
Mhm.
So, like, having, like, these couple really good cards that you don't mind playing in high counts is, like, really good for that. And that's just another good reason. This card's great. Like, I don't know. It's like...
You should have no problem fixing for yellow. Just
Yeah.
slam for this puppy in your deck.
Yeah.
Plus 2k with a free top check, real top deck. Card's
Easy.
fucking
Gives you
nuts.
information. Gives
Yeah.
you information, and that's sometimes more valuable than anything else that this card says.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That one was pretty simple. Next card.
Alright, we've
Brian.
got the level 1 Jaune combo. When the choice, School Dance, is placed in your climax area, if you have another remnant character, choose one of your characters, and that character gets the following ability until the end of the turn. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, search your deck for a remnant trait character, reveal it to your opponent, add it to your hand, and shuffle. Also, when this card attacks, if all of your characters are remnant trait, choose one of your characters, and that character gains 2k.
Okay, so Andy, you're the lore master, right?
Yes.
So they're in a high school. So it's like
Yeah.
anime. But there's
Yeah.
also a school dance. So it's like Kim Possible or something. I don't know.
RWBY is basically... It's like Harry Potter, right? They go to Hogwarts, but
Yeah.
instead of being wizards, they're learning how to be monster hunters.
Okay.
That's like basically the plot. And in
Yeah.
this specific episode, the one girl was feeling a little bit down. So John, being the guy he is,
Cheers.
put on a dress to cheer her up.
Okay.
Yep.
Amen. Good man.
Good episode.
The one thing I want to highlight about this card before we start discussing it, because it'll definitely come up, this card must give its ability to another character. He cannot give the ability to himself. Also, this card can activate from any spot on your stage. This card can sit in your back row and give its effect to another character.
You can do 5 of these, yeah.
His second effect,
I guess if you can fit a 5th one in.
yeah, your second effect can buff himself, but he cannot target himself with his climax combo, and he can activate from the back row. That's all I wanted to lay out before we start talking about it, because I think a lot of people misread it. This is a power crept version of a card in Assault Lily, the Yuri, that's seeing a lot of play because it has a lot of other synergies. I don't know if RWBY is going to have those synergies, but this is a better version of that card. Because that card is a Shimakai, this is flat 2K. That card is on a book, this card is on a choice. So it is literally just better.
Yeah, isn't this the Corone from the Hololive TD gamers?
No, that one gives
Kind
it
of.
to any character.
Yeah, Corona, you can stack them all in
Oh.
one lane, and she gets a little bit bigger, I think.
She gets to 75, but that's a very different kind of card. This card, you like keep one in your back row. So there's a play pattern you can do with a card like this, where one sits in your back row the entire game, and every time you draw the choice climax, you get a plus. And if you have multiple, you get to like beat over, like call your shot in whatever lane you want to, and like beat over a big card because you're giving a lot of power. So that's like the best play pattern with cards like this. This is not a card that's going to attack unless you have multiples of it on the board. Your first one is probably chilling in your back row for like the entire game. Which, you know, might have problems with other packages down the line that have to have cards that sit in back row, like the Pyra that this combo wants to go with, which is a standby, which, you know, further kind of makes things a little awkward for this guy.
I think it has a... Because I like what you're saying, like, there's two like, different ways you can play it, right? You can do like a normal level 1 combo where you just slam 3 of them down and go and get your pluses. But you can also just have one sit in the back row and throughout the game reap the value off it. And I think along those lines, there's like a very obvious synergy with the clean cut. This Jaune can pump the clean cut and give the clean cut power, and then the clean cut, the gang we just looked at, will get its reverse and then pull him back to your back row so you can use him again on a later turn with a climax combo.
And he doesn't even have to be up there to do it that turn.
It seems like a very powerful, like, inherent synergy.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing you can do with it. There's a lot of different like lines you can take with cards like this. I've been again, I've been pretty biased towards kind of profile.
And being able to stack all your stuff in one lane is kind of nice too. It has to be on climax placement, which is maybe maybe not the
bad
best
against
timing. I'd
runners.
rather it be on attack maybe, because your opponent can run still, because their running phase is after your climax phase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Sit him with a choke board.
I still like it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a really solid combo.
Yeah, the combo's good. I don't know how well it actually synergizes with the rest of the set. I think the biggest thing holding this back, as we'll look at the rest of the yellow cards, there's only one really decent card to pair with this, and the payoff you get with pairing with it is not very good. There are other cards in other colors you could pair it with, but there's no blind stalker, there's no like sort of additional like plussing effect you can do. There's no like filter, there's not like a Hambo or something like that, right? Like there's like not another additional like benefit to, like for another card you could pair this with, which is pretty unfortunate. That's the big reason the Assault Lily one was good, which is the reason why I'm only giving this a B, is because I don't see the cards to pair it with that make that Yuri so good. But maybe you use a different play pattern with it and I'm wrong. Like we don't really know. We don't even have the cards in our hands yet. That's not out for another 2 days. So, I'm excited to at least mess with it and see what the set can do with it. It is a really cool profile. So,
It's off choice. Good trigger.
yeah, choices.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next card. Sun Wukong. When this is placed from hand to stage, if you have another remnant character, this card gets 2k until end of turn, so he's 4k. And then when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may pay 1 and clock yourself from the top of the deck. Look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 2 characters from among them. Reveal them to your opponent. Put them in your hand. Put the rest in the waiting room. So it has to get a reverse to get a potential +2 for a self-clock effect. He pays out the card that he triggered. Think this is just worse than the ones that trigger on death by like a considerable margin.
I would agree. It does swing at 4K.
It does.
It is a relevant number at level 0. You do need to have another character on the board for that 4K, though.
You know, Prillia has this card. It actually has a better version of this card. That is a selective salvage when it gets a reverse that can also possibly swing at 4K. And even English Prillia doesn't play that card.
I don't know. Could I maybe I could talk you into it with you combine this with the clean cut. You clean cut this, and then next turn you reverse something else, get another.
That means our opponent has to leave us 2 reverses. That's asking a lot. Yeah. That's a long 0 game, right?
You have to reverse something at 2K power the second turn. It doesn't get any additional power. You have to find that power somewhere else.
Why do you gotta crap on my dreams like that? Maybe they'll just like be stupid and just put cards up there for you.
No.
Like the card you pick on your locals with.
I don't think I like it. It's a little bit better than like garbage, but like I think that it's a night and day difference from the on death ones and this card.
Yeah, the on death one you can assess the situation. This one it's just like you have to decide there now, and you may just screw yourself over.
I don't know.
Do we have a normal Ricky?
We don't have normal ones, but we have 2 other ones that are selective at the very least. One is pretty normal. One is pretty normal. The other one is not normal, but pretty good. This is the worst Clock Plus. I'll say that much. No spoilers.
Plus is 2, though. It's sick.
These pretty harsh, though. These pretty harsh. It's still...
I don't know, man. I look at cards like this, and I go, that card's not Aqua. Like, Aqua's broken.
Oh my god, Aqua was printed like a month ago!
She's broken! She's broken! Alright, next card. Whose card is this?
It should be Devin, I think.
Devin. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Alright, so Jaune Arc himself. All of your all your Pyra Nikos get 500 power. That's the 3/2, and hand encore. Hand encore. And then assist. It's a level assist by 500, and climax combo. Put 1 school dance or remember by from your hand into your waiting room. When it's placed on stage from hand, you may pay cost. If you do, choose one of the aforementioned climaxes in your waiting room and return it to your hand. So it is effectively a climax swap.
Nice. That's nice. At like any stage in the game, right? If you're playing this card at level 2 because you want to give some extra power to your field, with the level assist effect, you can swap back into another choice combo to go for your level 1 Jaune combo again.
It is on play though, so
yeah.
So like, let's say you have a Jaune in your back row already, right? Like the level 1 combo Jaune that you had sitting in your back row from your level 1 combo. That like pairs actually really nicely with this. Almost like they designed the cards to work together or something.
Wow.
Because this is a card you want to stick in your back row. So on that turn, you pull your Jaune up from your back row, your level 1 Jaune, and plop this down in its place. And then swap yourself back into another choice combo. Go for the choice combo again.
That is... Okay.
And then when you hit level 3, you could swap back into the standby again.
No. I'm going to stop you right there, because this is an early play combo. Which means that I think that effect is actually hella fucking awkward. Especially when you're typically going to play these cards, which is like top of your second deck, right? Like early play combos, like level 2 combos. Top of your second deck. So you're not going to typically have a lot of climaxes in your grave to swap with. And if you have the standby, you are not going to want to swap back into the choice to do the choice combo, because the Pyra is like your power spike card. That card comes out at level 2, shuffles a bunch of cards back into your opponent's deck, and like is a giant fat body that buffs your board. And you're like gonna sit on that and this and like have the hand encore. So the only time you use that third effect, really, is to either... If you have the school dance and you canceled with a kiss, swap from school dance to kiss, right?
Yeah.
Or, like, if you want to slam a 1k1, you can swap into the school dance and slam the 1k1, which is that's the nice part, I think. But, like, I think your normal play pattern, you're not going to get as much use out of the third effect as you think you will.
Yeah,
Unless you're lucky enough to cancel with the kiss and, like, have the choice.
Yeah, I don't know how often it's actually going to be in your waiting room, but the intent definitely seems to be hit level 2, throw this down, swap into the standby, slam it, and get the Pyra online as soon as possible. But the fact that it is right at level 2 is a little bit awkward.
I was gonna say, I guess if it's any consolation, like it's just even if you're not using it all the time, it's like at least an extra piece of assurance that maybe you trigger the standby and it's like in your stock and you can pay it out, and now it's in your waiting room.
Yeah. It's definitely not a bad effect. I just don't think it's I think the good part is that you're giving your peers hand on core and a global 500 power while also being an assist, and I think that makes your peers like at a pretty obnoxious power line, like obnoxious enough. The only things that board break you are the things that board break everything. Which I mean, like, you know, what are you gonna do? Like, you just do your best. I think the Pyra will like snowball as you get additional Pyras.
What's a little preview of what the Pyra does?
It's a global 15, and you can only ever do one of its climax combo per turn. When you play the standby, you pay 2, sack the standby, and stand the Pyra, and then shuffle 5 cards back into your opponent's deck. It's your board, so 5. Because you're playing a standby deck.
So it stands itself.
It stands itself and shuffles back in 5. So it's a decompression combo at 2. Like, kind of similar to the Rushia.
If only it triggered like Lion.
Yeah, it does not trigger like Lion, which is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, first time I read the...
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
no, you're good.
First time I read the card... Yeah, the first time I read the card, it almost read like Lion. It's like, oh, sweet, it's Lion with plus more stuff. And then I reread it and wait, hold up, timeout. Not as good.
Yeah, it technically would work if you could, you know, you couldn't. So no, it's during your climax phase, so it actually can't work. No, never mind. I also misread it. Unfortunate. Yeah, you can only ever do one, but I think that's enough because of like you have good off finishers in RWBY, like I was saying. So I think you can play a mid game combo as long as the mid game's doing something meaningful. And I think the Pyras are fine. I think the Jaune plays right into it. I think it's a good card. Definitely better than average like support card for a card like this. It's just like
your Pyras are sitting at what 11-5, 13-5.
13-5, yeah. Pretty good. 13-5 hand on cores. Pretty good. Yeah. And if you get another Pyra out, that 15 is going to roll. So then there'll be 15 if you have 2 down. So if you trigger another standby. Is like your high roll.
I think it's a 1 of an 8 standby. I think that's about it. I don't think you play it for the climax combo switch.
I think that in a lot of my builds that I was doing, like pre actually playing the set builds, I was playing 2 because I was not playing any traditional 2/2s in my 4 standby decks. My level 2s, because of my space requirements, were like 2 Weiss, like off climax combo, and then 2 of this. And my plan was, if I incidentally triggered a standby at 1, I would just put my Jaune out and I'd be ready. And I'd have to field like 1 less card the next turn. Like I'd already have him out.
Were you trying a door standby?
Yeah, door standby it's probably the deck I'm sleeving first. Door standby with like the off finishers and the money counter is like my first knee jerk deck that I was building. And I was like, no 2/2s. If we trigger an early standby, we're just gonna get our Jaune out and like we save a stock. And that's like, because you're paying 2 for the Pyra, right? So it's like I think that's good enough for a 4 standby deck. Because once you hit 2, you get extra Pyras, you get like off finishers with really spooky effects. Like you start getting some really wild shit. So I think that's probably good enough. But I'm a believer in the card. I think it's fine. I don't think you actually care as much about the CX swap, but it is nice if you choose to play the build around School Dance deck.
I mean, I think that brings up one last talking point here, at least for me, is that you saying like you're running it in like a door standby deck, or Devin talking about 8 standby. You know, there's no requirement to actually run this in choice standby. You have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, you can just play it. It's not the nice to have effect, because it's like a support, right? You don't care about how much power this card has. So the card can be overloaded.
It's not like a true climax combo, quote unquote climax combo effect. You can kind of just play it for its first 2 effects.
Yeah, you can just have it out there. Yeah, card's fine. I think card's pretty good. I think it's part of what makes the Pyra pretty attractive as like a level 2 combo. Any other comments? We good? Move on?
Nah, that's all good.
Pretty good.
Alright. Next.
Oh, that's good.
Riaz, that is you.
Yep. Alright, Yang. I don't even know how to say that. Vital Festival, I guess?
I think, yeah, right?
Yeah.
When this card is placed from stage from your hand, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose one among them. Put the rest into put that one into your hand and put the rest into your waiting room. When falling into a trap is placed in your climax area, if this card is in the center stage, choose one of your other characters. That character gets falling ability in a turn. The ability activates up to once per turn. When damage dealt by this card is cancelled, it may deal 2 damage. I guess for a rare, it's okay. It's like a watered down version of finishes we've seen before, but it is a rare, so it's understandable.
There are notably a lot of off finishers in RWBY, like I keep saying. So like there's a pay 2, ditch 2, burn 2 at end of attack. There's the restander. So you can stack the cancel burns on cards with extra instances of damage.
Yeah.
So you can build like a double board with this that can be like pretty nasty, but I don't know if it's good enough.
Maybe if it like, well, I don't know. It's like, it is really efficient, like resource wise, right? Like
it is free.
I always love finishers that top check 3 and can like draw into your climax or additional copies of itself or anything. And the fact that it is free means you can like you can triple combo this, you know, pretty consistently as long as you have the stock to pay for it. It's a low stock threshold to be able to, you know, go all out with your finisher. So I like that aspect of it.
I don't even know if tripling it is right, unless your opponent leaves you empty lanes. I feel like if you
why wouldn't you want to triple it?
So if you triple it, right, and your opponent leaves you an empty lane, I think it's fine. Because you have the 4 burn 2, and then you stack the other burn 2s in another lane. But like, or you stack the 2 burn 2s in the empty lane, or something like that.
What do you mean 4 burn 2s?
You can stack, if you triple it, Andy, you can only stack 2 on one character. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see. Choose one of your other characters.
Can't choose it.
Yeah, so like, so I was saying, like, I think if you play 2 and you play an off finisher, you're probably doing a little better than tripling it.
Like a restander or something that gets 2 chances to trigger it.
Yeah, I think restander is the way to go with this one.
Yeah, restander, restander, or the
Uh-huh.
pay 2, ditch 2, burn 2. One of the
Anything
2.
that gives you the extra instances of burn so that you can try to trigger it more.
The Misakura is a little, burn 1 is a little overzealous to expect to cancel, so I think the burn 2 or the restander is probably the way to go. You were pairing with this.
Regardless, that Weiss restander was at the end of the attack pay 2, so like these seem like very sensible to combo together.
Yeah, I think they work pretty well together because it's ditch 2 characters, so you can top check for characters or the climax, like, you know, whatever you need.
It's off choice trigger too, which I don't know. I wish it would have been off shot. It would have been more flavorful. It's Yang.
I do think it is weird that there's not a
Everyone has
shot.
guns.
I do think it's weird that there's not a shot sub theme for Yang. I was expecting like a shot support and like lots of shots for Yang, like a shot level 1, a shot level 3, like a whole sort of Yang thing. But you know what? Like what? Guess I was given a little too much credit.
Yeah, why would you have shots when you can just print good triggers?
I also don't know anything about RWBY, so that's just like my like
everything's a gun.
Random thing.
Yeah, everything is a gun.
If it's a melee weapon, it's also a gun.
Wow, are you telling me I should watch the show? There's girls, there's guns.
Yes.
They all have guns.
Damn,
It's Disneyland, Texas.
maybe. Disneyland in Texas. That's funny. All right,
If it's slices, it's also a gun.
we can move on. That is back to the top. Andy, go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, probably my other favorite character, Nian Cat.
It's Nian Cat.
That's what she's based off of. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it wasn't
No
obvious.
way, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
it's based off of the Neon
That's
Cat.
so okay. This card gets cringe for me. Is this card based or cringe? This card gets cringe.
Oh,
C for cringe.
Carmen, you're gonna hate. You better call Neo cringe then too when we get to Neo.
Yeah, dude, they're all cringe. Like, okay,
All named
it's
after
cringe.
like something.
Okay, look, is this card based or cringe? This card's cringe.
It's
This card's based. You didn't read the card yet. This card's based
Yeah,
af.
this card's based. It's based on a 2012 internet meme.
Jesus Christ.
It's a really good card too, and it's placed on your stage from your hand. If your opponent has one or less cards in their center stage, choose one of their cost zeros and bottom deck it. And beginning your opponent's draw step, reveal top card of your deck. If it's a level 1 or higher, you can return this card back to your hand. This card seems super duper well positioned right now.
Yep.
I saw a little bit of Discord conversation the other day with people
The
brewing.
$60
Like,
RWBY PR, or the $60 Rudy PR and Mushoku Tensei that does the first effect against Kaguya, and then they cry when their K runner dies. That is,
yeah, I mean, it just seems really well positioned. You have your plussing level 1/0 in the sense that this coin flips pluses for you like on its own with the reveal top card effect. And then that synergy as well combos well with your other plussing level 0s. Because a lot of the best level 0s we've seen so far are runners. So you have your clean cut, you have this, you have a runner. It just kind of all like, you're pretty much guaranteed to have stuff like fire off for your plussing game.
Mm-hmm.
And what that second effect's always useful, but it also like is a very good like anti-meta card. Because how things are looking right now, like if you're going second, your opponent's probably always going to have one card on their field, unless they like stand by or something. But whatever. Right. So if you go second, you should be. It's a good opener to be able to pop that effect off. But also against opposing decks that are running clean cuts, cards like the first Yang we looked at this video. Those are like some of the best level 0 cards right now. RWBY has one, Kaguya has one, Data Live has one. Like a lot of the best sets in the game, like have this like clean cut profile. So, or they're running their own coin flips or their own runners or whatever. So
this dunks all that. Yeah.
I think you get a lot of mileage out of this card. This is maybe like a +2 early on. It pops itself back to hand and it kills something on their field that otherwise is probably going to be hard to interact with, like a runner.
Yeah, I think
I think it's a super, super solid card.
also the card goes to bottom of deck too. It doesn't even go to grave. Like I think the
Oh yeah, that's even better if they have something like
let me double check the
a Raspberry Princess or whatever. Or
Yeah,
what is
the
it?
Wildberry.
Wildberry Princess. Anything
me-
or like a Chiori.
Let me double
get those
check the
effects.
Rudy PR. Does it bottom deck?
I feel like it.
No,
Sure.
it just kills it. This is better
Oh,
than the Rudy
really?
PR. Yeah,
Okay.
so the Rudy PR, like when the Rudy PR comes to English, the Rudy PR is the same first effect as this card, except it goes to waiting room instead of bottom of deck. Then it has pay to salvage. So in the mirror, the Rudy PR like dunks the Rudy PR, and then the Rudy PR can do its second effect, which is kind of annoying. But this is even better than that because it just sends the card to the bottom of the deck, so they don't even get their undead effect.
Yeah, the one promo in Mob does that. I play that in my deck, and it's been extremely useful. Yeah.
I think in the Kaguya hellscape that we will be in for the foreseeable future, because I don't know how you power creep that deck. They will eventually. I just don't currently know how. That first effect is going to be pretty relevant. So you probably try to squeeze some slots of this. I think you'll end up making a choice between this or clean cut or this or runner or this or that. Like you'll end up taking a like neg in deck building to play this, but I think it's probably worth it if you have a lot of Kaguya running around or expect to see a lot of Kaguya. You definitely want to play this card.
I mean, thanks
Oh,
to Carmen, we do in Pittsburgh have a lot of Kaguya running around, huh?
Only do what? Only for like shop challenges, dude. I don't pull that deck out. It's banned. It's banned. I don't. I don't like.
I mean, not you specifically, but you.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of play sets of Kaguya.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I did.
A lot of
You're a friendly
players
local
in
arms
Pittsburgh
dealer.
are
I did open 8 cases of that set and sold playsets to mostly local people. So everybody does have Kaguya. All right.
Good. Well, fuck the Kaguya players. We'll have a lot of RWBY now.
A lot of
So
Nian Cats.
Not right back at you. A lot of Neon Cats.
Nian
Okay.
Cat.
All right. Next card.
All right, we've got Uniform Jean. He gives global 500 power to your remnant characters, and when you place a climax, you can choose one of your characters, and that character gets 1,000 power. It's again
power creep.
Prepped, Asuna's Married Life.
It's power creep. Direct power creep. I think it's fine.
Not unless you're playing off-trait non-remnant characters, then it's not power creep.
There are no non-remnant characters in the set. How sick is that? They finally did it. They finally made a set that doesn't have stupid trait shit. Yeah, card's fine.
Just you wait for AOT final season. There's going to be traits all over the place.
Oh no. Yeah, you're right. All right, Yang framed. She's just framed. If you have 2 or more other remnant characters, this card gets 1k power. So it's 3k. And then it is a drop search. Pay 1, ditch any card, search your deck for a remnant character, add it to your hand. This is a card from Sal 10th. That card was good. This card is also good. You mostly have grave access in RWBY from what we've seen. This is like your go-to deck access, and it's a good card when you try field. Good card, good.
It's a 3k drop search, not much more to say about it.
Card good. I think it's
it competes with.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it competes with Zwei in red, but I guess we'll discuss that a little bit later.
Yeah, the only reason I give the edge to this card is because your decks usually end up being mostly salvage. So having a card that can give you deck access is more desirable. But this way is definitely a good card. That's done in red. Yeah.
Yep. It's also where your brainstorm's at.
Yeah.
Which is also a salvage.
Yep. All right. Moving on. Devin, go ahead.
Oh, lordy. Where are we at? Oh.
Party hands.
Yeah. Uniform Yang. 1/1 counter. 2k counter. And then it is, when you use this card's backup, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a remnant character, put it in your hand. Ditch a card afterwards. It is a Lifa counter.
This is also a Sal 10th card. Exactly.
That's the only thing you have to say about it, Carmen. I figured this would be a one where you're asking me like the lore question.
Yeah, what's the
going on?
Yeah, what's the lore question? Why does she have turkey hands?
They were having a food fight, and she punches people, so she had turkeys on her hands.
Yeah,
just whole ass
literally the
turkeys.
extent of it, yeah.
Gloves.
it's like boxing gloves, but they're turkeys.
If there is a level 1 that you are playing that wants to hold board and you can afford paying the stock, or you are playing choice, this is better than a 2k counter. So you play it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I think we say the same thing every time we see the Soul Trigger blind stock counters, the Soul Trigger Lifa counters. Like, Lifa is a little bit better than those because it can scry you to a cancel.
Yeah, puts you 1 card closer to a cancel, potentially. Or always.
Yeah, always does, because it doesn't move the card. Okay. Alright, next card.
All right.
Riaz, go ahead.
Taiyang Xiao Long, I guess. During your turn, all of your other remnant characters get 1,000 power. Pay 1, put a card from your hand into your waiting room. Rest this, look at the top 3. Cards are at the top of your deck, choose one of them among them. Put them in your hand, the rest go to the waiting room. It's just basically a filter, costed filter, and you can choose from top 3 cards of your deck. Am I reading this right?
Yep.
Yeah, it can take anything. It's kind
It's
of cool.
repeatable Cosma.
There's your mill. Why brainstorm with when you can do this?
Why plus when you can?
Yeah, why
when
plus
you can
when you
filter.
can filter? Yeah. I do think
1,000
this is
They
like
can go into your events.
this is like legitimately pretty cool.
It's actually really cool. I like it a lot. Yeah.
I don't know what you do with it, in this set, but this is an interesting new profile that has never existed before.
Definitely
So,
unique, yeah.
If
If you're playing if you're playing hard into events, or again you really want to loop climaxes for some reason, look at top 3 take anything is
yeah,
probably not the worst thing you could do.
you just do it.
Or
Yeah,
if you
these
just want the
significant years-
power too, you just have that other effect stapled on there. It's just a nice little
The
benefit.
Aaron
Like,
Global power,
yeah, regardless of which effect you're playing it for, the other effect is just always nice to have.
Yeah, I think the card's super interesting. I think this will make its way into builds as like a one of, just to, like for people to try out, see if it does anything. Definitely interesting. All right, next, Andy.
All right, 2/2 Yang, warm welcome. This is just your standby target for the set at level 2. It looks like.
What's
If
on?
you have 2 or more other characters, she gets 3k power, so it's a 10k with hand on core.
I like that for a 4 standby deck, you don't have to have full field for it to have power.
Mm-hmm.
That is
that is
makes it more desirable for a 4 standby deck. Yeah, cards. You know when you play this card. That is all I have for it.
Actually, you know what? It's a little bit better than what I thought it was because I thought it was 2 or more back row on your opponent's side.
Oh.
No,
well.
it's a little bit better
It's
than
fine.
that.
Yeah, it's fine. I think you advised for slots with the Melon clone, so has more
Yeah.
resilience.
Yeah, because this one has hand on core. The other ones don't.
I do value the other one because it does allow you to surveil on
Yeah,
attacks.
if
So
you're-
I
yeah.
really value that effect.
If you're able to like get into more standbys, if you're playing 8 standby, the other one's probably better because then you're triggering more standbys, so you don't care as much about the encore. Well, it like depends, right? It depends what you're trying to do. You can always split it.
Absolutely.
All right. Next card. Brian, go ahead.
All right, we've got another Glinda, level 3. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you may heal 1. When this card attacks, you may pay 1, discard 1 card. If you do, this card gets 2,000 power and the following ability until the end of the turn. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may burn 1.
Card used to be on the ban list.
What?
Yeah.
Railgun, right?
This is Misakuro, yeah. This is the Misakuro. That's the exact same text. Card used to be on the ban list. It is now an uncommon.
Now it's uncommon, yep.
How far we have come. This is one of the better off finishers in the set. The fact that it heals, pay 1, ditch 1, burn 1, you call your shot, you gain 2k, you get on reverse burn 1. That's a really good finishing effect. Just getting chip damage in there.
Gets 2k power, can crest a reasonable number of things.
Misakuro is never amazing, but it is always acceptable. It is an acceptable off finisher card.
Seems fine to me.
Seems like something else good to pair with the Yang finisher as well, maybe.
I think the other ones, like the Restander and the Burn 2, give you more chances to trip the cancel burn.
Yeah, maybe you want higher instances of damage just to make
sure.
Well,
this lets you
hit the
heal though, right?
burn.
Like the Weiss Restander doesn't heal and the Yang doesn't heal. So this gives you like
this does give you a heal, yeah.
Yeah.
Point made.
I think Riaz was going to say something at the same time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Riaz.
I think
no,
Riaz
not. Wait, you can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna say anything really. I mean, it's just it was cool way back in the day, pretty impressive. Now it's like it's just there. Off finisher, it heals, it has 2 different, utility. It's kind of like the card you like, man, I kind of need a healer, but I want to do more than just vanilla heal. Here's the card.
Yeah.
Still a solid card though.
Yeah, I don't think it's like Misakuro is never bad, it's just not amazing anymore.
Standard.
Alright. We got Arslan All 10. When this card attacks, if you have another character, it gets 3k, so it's 7k. And then when it gets reversed, if you have another character, you can draw and then discard. This is the quote-unquote best card that I talked about to pair with the Jaune to get your reverses. Because this card's 7k, you pay it on the climax 10k, you buff it with the Jaune 10, goes to 10. So 7, 8, then 10. You get the reverse.
It's like bad Marceline with Hambo.
Yeah, this is Hambo.
No, it's not. It's just a draw ditch.
Oh, whatever.
That's so much worse than a salvage, Andy.
It is, but come on, it's fine.
It's
similar.
fine.
Like Hambo.
It's fine, but I'm not happy to sleeve the card.
No,
And
definitely not.
Like, this doesn't make me excited to play the Jaune combo, is like my thing. It is a fine card. It just doesn't make me hype to play the...
I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make me hype to sleeve up Jaune, because I know I'm going to play, like, 2 copies of this to have a costless beater to pair with the Jaune.
It's notable that this can trigger on both players' turns. So if your opponent crashes into it, you can get the filter effect again. But unlike the Hambo, it doesn't. It only gets the power on turn, not off turn.
Yeah, that's why it's 7k instead of 6, right?
Hmm.
But hey, it still makes it so your opponent can't crash something weak into it.
Mm-hmm.
Level 0.
And unlike Hambo, you can't be forced to ditch if you don't have a grave, because you just draw. And if you don't draw, you don't have to ditch. Wow, it is better than Hambo. Hambo, you're forced to ditch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Riaz, you got a rating?
Yeah. Gets a C for me.
All right. We're almost
Wait.
there. Devin, go ahead.
We got Bronze Knee. When this card is
Broadly.
placed on stage from hand, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your waiting room. If there's a climax among those cards, give this card gets 3k power until on the turn. And when placed on stage from hand, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your waiting room. If there is a climax among those cards, choose one of your characters, and that character gets 1500 power until the end of turn.
There's your deck speed.
Like the worst Ozusei ever. You just mill 4, and then you just do
That's
nothing.
I can't believe that's his fucking name.
Just fucking brainstorm, bro.
I'm just thinking like the bronze kneecap right here. Like, what is this?
This card sucks.
So
Is
a
this
lot.
Station Mill too?
So a lot of these off teams like Arslan and Bronze, I had no idea what the names were. Like,
Yeah,
I've
they
seen
never
the
say.
show.
These are like
No, I
nameless
don't think they- I
characters.
don't
Never say
think
the
they ever
names.
do,
You have to read the literature for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Read the light novel.
There are
I'll
RWBY
give it
light
an F.
novels.
I'll give it a D for deck speed.
Yeah, there are light novels.
Jesus Christ.
I think there's one in the apartment here.
They won't give up. No. Please no. Okay. Riaz, go ahead.
Yep. Sun. Vital Festival. Maybe have 4 more remnant characters. This gets -1 from hand. Climax combo. Put 1 team SSSN from your climax area into your waiting room. At the end of this card attacking, you pay the cost if you look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 remnant characters among them. Reveal them to your opponent. Put them into your hand and the rest go to waiting room. Well, it's kind of like... I guess the difference between this and like... kind of like that other one from the Konosuba set is this one you can do multiple
Union.
times, it looks like, right? No, you can only do it
No,
once.
it's the same thing.
You know,
Yeah.
do it once.
Yeah.
So I guess it looks up to 5 instead of
5.
4 before, right? But you can
Yeah.
get all 4 with the other one.
The
This one only
Konosuba one
does 2.
requires a reverse too. This one's on attack.
Yeah.
No,
so,
it's end of attack. End of attack.
Brian, are you cringing yet? This is cringe.
This is
I don't hate it.
Continuous, continuous. This isn't a stock soul.
Oh, I am cringing. Yeah, that is my line. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
this is
going for
cringe.
1, 1, and 1. Yeah.
I don't think this is very good. I don't think
Well,
you would sleeve
yeah.
this.
Then you just attack with this last, I guess, because it's at the end of the card's attack.
You play because you like Sun. That's the only reason why you're playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you like Pecs.
Did you
It's an all
notice?
right
Did
card,
you
I
notice?
guess. Like if you really want to run like
Every single climax in yellow
There's your
was a
deck
choice.
speed.
There was no wind. There was no stock soul. It is all choice. No,
I'm not
literally,
complaining.
there are no non-plussing triggers in this set.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it is just funny. All right,
It's kinda
last
like,
card.
Hololive.
Andy, go ahead.
Ooh, we got an event card here. We got a childhood memory. If you don't have a remnant character, this card cannot be played from your hand. You may choose a remnant character in your hand, put it in your waiting room. If you do, choose a climax in your waiting room and add it back to your hand. This is 1-0. So you discard a card. You play this card, you discard a character, you salvage a climax. Seems
Take
like a
-1
nice
to
tool
get
to
your
have.
climax,
Minus
yeah.
1 to get a Yeah, for climax.
There's no bonder. There's no thing to it. You have to just play it. These are like fine. I don't know. This is like the most similar to the card in like Sneaker Bunko. It's a fucking Strike Witches card. It's like the same card except you sack a character on board and then you search a climax at a salvage one. And that as like a 2 as like climax assurance is like okay.
Yeah,
I think you would play this exactly the same
Mob
way.
has that.
Yeah,
I sold Caleb a Bunny Girl Senpai deck, and it had this profile in it as well. So, except it was sack a character from board.
You got to be really like reliant on your climax combo for your deck to do anything to play this kind of card. I think.
Yeah, if you're going back to that deck, that hypothetical deck we were talking about earlier, where you really, really want to loop your level 1 combo a ton, I guess this.
Yeah,
this is
you play like 2 of this.
Well, I was going to mention that earlier too. Like the Taiyang, the one that sits in your back row, gives 1,000 power and lets you look at top 3 cards and filter every turn.
Mm-hmm.
I think in that hypothetical deck, you maybe splash yellow and you like play that Taiyang, and you can play this card too.
And you can grab this.
And then you just do your combo every turn.
Yeah.
I feel like the only deck you do that with is like Cinder or Penny, like these non-interactive ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably play it in John because you plus so much. Because you do have the neg 2 if you are trying to search for this.
Hmm.
If you're trying to dig for it and you end up finding it in the Taiyang, you've ditched one already.
Yeah, you're taking a
You
lot.
come back through, you ditch another. Yeah.
I don't really like the
it's
card
kinda rough.
actually. The more we've talked about it, I don't think modern decks need a card like this.
Not even just as like a 2 like you said, or like a 1 or 2 where. Just
No,
like
because
a little
I'd
bit of
have-
extra insurance.
Yeah, just
I'd have this because here's why. Here's why.
We
In
have a
RWBY,
climax swap.
not only
You
is
do.
there a climax swap, there's a climax tutor in RWBY. That's
there
just a
is.
straight plus.
the Neo.
And
Yeah.
I do not think you need this card.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Well-
Even in the sets where I've played this initial card, the only reason I'm playing it is that if I don't play my like level 1 combo in that deck, my deck doesn't do anything because it's old and bad.
Well, I guess this still has like a niche in the sense that you can, the Neo doesn't come online till level 3.
Right.
You can use this to get your
No,
level 1
no,
combo
I'm not
if you
talking
really
about
need
that.
to.
I'm not talking about that. The tutor that I'm talking about is a level 1. The Nora
What?
in red.
Excuse me.
There's a
Yes.
Nora that tutors climax.
Oh yeah, that card got me to Japan. I'm really biased towards that card. I'll gush about it later. But
Well,
it's a 1/0 on play, pay 2, search a climax.
My understanding is now that RWBY is not for lack of ways to tutor climaxes.
Yeah, I
out of
don't
their,
think you ever play this card because
yeah,
of
but-
those cards.
Yeah, but you've got.
If you have a climax swapper, you don't play this card. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
Probably
Yeah.
not.
it exists.
All right, we'll see you guys in green. That's it for yellow.